So for paper 3, you've got 30 multiple choice questions, 10 marker, 15 marker, and 25 marker. The strategy for the 10 marker is different to the other papers. So this is the one which you have to prepare differently. In paper 1 and 2, you have a 4 marker, and that's significant points of data comparison. The 10 marker is just a 4 marker on steroids. Okay. So in the 4 marker, you pick 2 points and you just write about them, but you don't have to do anything else, right? So with the 10 marker, you have to pick 3 points, not 2. Okay.
Yeah.
From the data. And not only do you have to pick 3 points, you have to discuss them. So evaluate them as well in terms of if it shows a certain outcome.
Yeah.
For example, this question says, using the extracts above, to what extent, if at all, do you think that the UK manufacturing sector has been in decline since 2003? You must use extract B. So these are all from extract B.
Yeah.
Okay. The question is about, has the manufacturing sector declined? The first thing I would do is I would just read all my extracts and just in my head or just write bullet points. What does it show? This one's nice and simple. The manufacturing output has gone down from about 96 to about 94. Okay. Right? No, not 96, 97, 98 to 97. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
98 to 97, my bad. Yeah. But you can also bear in mind that it's barely gone down and that there's been a lot of fluctuations. For example, it's gone up and then down and then up again. Because we have to not only say what the data shows, we have to evaluate it. Point 2, figure 2 shows that the number of jobs in manufacturing has gone down.
Yeah.
From around 3,650 to 3,000. This one shows that exports have gone up, but they also went up and then down, but overall they've gone up. Imports have gone up quite a lot, and the balance of payments has gone down. Okay.
Surely, if exports have gone up, it doesn't show a decline in the industry.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's what I was thinking earlier as well. But it can be both, it can be two-sided. You can say that this data shows that it's gone up, the manufacturing sector has not declined, or you can say that it has declined, or you can say it's inconclusive.
Because the other data shows that it has like slightly declined.
Yeah.
Maybe it's become more efficient.
Yeah, it's good. And then another more creative evaluation is that, wait, even for this one, right, I can evaluate this quite creatively and say that just because the number of jobs has declined, it doesn't mean that the manufacturing sector has declined. It could mean that the workers are being replaced by
robots,
machines, right?
Yeah.
Good. So that doesn't show anything necessarily, does it?
What unemployment is that machines?
Sorry?
What unemployment is like replaced by machines?
Structural.
Structural.
And then figure 4 shows the rate of growth of manufacturing output. So before I even start, the first evaluation is that the question is only from 2003 onwards. So it doesn't have a start point of 2003. So this 0.9 doesn't tell us anything because we don't know what happened from 2003. So we can only focus on the fact that the UK manufacturing sector declined in 2008 and in 2009 and just went up a tiny bit in 2010 to 15. I can evaluate it by talking about how it doesn't have a start point of 2003. And I can also evaluate it by saying it doesn't start at 2003.
Yeah.
This is all merged together, which is difficult to talk about. And then on this column, we can talk about how actually the whole of the UK is declining in 2008 and the whole of the UK is declining in 2009.
Yeah.
So it might not be that the manufacturing sector declined, it's just the whole, everything's declined.
Oh.
Although that did go down by more, but also 2008-9 was the financial crisis, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So there were 4 extracts, and now I just need 3 points, not 4. Okay. So I just picked my 3 favorites. I'll pick this one because we talked about it quite well. So I'll just say.
What that one there?
Yeah, let's start with that one. Figure 4 shows that the average rate of growth of So I've just said that figure 4 shows that the average rate of growth of the manufacturing sector declined by 2.8% in 2008 and then 9.4% in 2009. This would suggest that the manufacturing sector has declined. So nothing too fancy, just pick your most obvious points.
Yeah.
But the difference between this and your usual 4 markers, you evaluate it by saying that you could argue against this as the entire UK GDP declined in 2008 and 2009.
Surely you can, because you did 2 evaluations, so surely you just do better one.
You could do one, but I mean, there's no harm in doing an extra. If it only takes an extra minute, but don't go crazy. Don't take like 20 minutes on it.
Yeah.
And there was a financial crisis, but the better evaluation is this one. The data is grouped weirdly. So one of the groups starts from 1993 to 2007. So we don't have good data independently for just 2003, 4, 5, 6 to 7. So overall, it might be difficult to suggest that it has declined or not.
Yeah.
So for the next paragraph, we're basically using figure 2 now. You can pick so there's 4 figures. You pick your favorite 3. So this one shows that the employment's gone down from around 3,700 to around 3,650 to around 3,000. But the key also, it says thousands here. So make sure you don't say 3,650. It's 3,650,000. So 3.65 million. So figure 2 shows the employment rate in the UK manufacturing industry. This has all declined from 3.65 million to around 3 million. And we can evaluate it by saying this does not necessarily show a decline because it's not because of structural unemployment. That's part of it, but that's not the evaluation. You just said that the manufacturing industry could have been experiencing factors being labor. So, however, this does not necessarily show a decline in the industry. Jobs in the UK manufacturing sector may have been replaced by machines. Okay. And then the last one is just to pick either figure 1 or figure 3. Figure 3 looks a little bit complicated. So let's just say that figure 1 also shows that the manufacturing sector may have declined and then it shows that the index of output has gone down from around 96 index number to from around 98 to 96 or 97 as the index of output has gone down from around 98 to 96. I could evaluate this by saying that it has only gone down a tiny amount. And also there have been many fluctuations in between. For example, if we only look at the last from 2001, 2, 3, 4, like quarter 3 of 2009 onwards, the index has gone up. So if it was to continue at this rate, the manufacturing sector would recover. Overall, despite some limitations in the data, I would conclude that the manufacturing sector in the UK has declined but not that much. Look at another question. So this question here is another paper, but the same marker. It says, user data. It will tell you which extract to use, and I've screenshotted it. It says, to what extent does the data suggest that the reliance on fossil fuels to produce energy is falling? So straight away, the price of oil has gone down. So that must mean surely we are demanding less oil. So relying on oil less, and therefore relying on fossil fuel less. You can evaluate it easily by saying that there's been fluctuations, right? And the question doesn't have a time zone like the other one did. So if we're talking about right now relative to 2006, yeah, it has gone down. So it's pretty conclusive actually.
Well,
But if we're talking about a few years ago, it actually went up.
so wait, what's the question?
Has the reliance on fossil fuels decreased, or is it falling? That's what it's saying.
I mean, you can infer from the price going down.
If the price, yeah, exactly. Then this one here, the price of coal actually went up, and then down again. And overall, it's just gone down a little bit from like
It's gone down like $1.
65 to 60. And that's like
65. Oh, yeah,
around
that's
65,
fair to say.
66, and that's per ton as well. So it's quite not conclusive at all.
Yeah.
And if you only look at it from 2015 onwards, it's gone up.
And then
So
if you look up after that one,
this one says the average cost. So this is completely
this is
useless.
produce.
But this is also a useless piece of data because it
distracts you.
huh?
It's just there to like distract.
It could be, but the reason it's useless is because the question says it's falling. This question doesn't even have two time periods.
And also, this is production.
That's fine. I mean, it's kind of rubbish as well, but that's not the main issue. The main issue is that it's 2016. How can we compare
Yeah.
to another time? Right?
Yeah.
And then this one says a lot of different time zones, and it says this is the most perfect extract.
Because wait, what's the reliance on oil?
Fossil fuels in general, and these are all different types of fossil fuels.
Nuclear energy.
Oil and coal are fossil fuels.
But then you just look at maybe
Oil and coal, yeah. I don't know if natural gas is. Is this a science exam? But so I just pick oil and coal, right? So I'd say oil has gone up in 2006 to 2009. It went up again into 2012. It went up again and it went up again. Coal went up, up, up. No, up, slightly down and very slightly down.
Yeah.
Okay. So I would start with that. I'd say figure 1 shows oil consumption went up from, and then don't do a stupid thing and write it went up from 3984. It went up 3984 million tons to 4418 million tons.
Yeah.
And then that suggests that the fossil fuel consumption has gone up and has not been falling. I would evaluate it by
It's only
saying
a small increase.
but still it's gone up. It's not falling.
Oh, it's only quite making true. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But then you can evaluate it by saying, however, the coal was also rising, but it went down in the last from 2012 to 2016.
Yeah.
But if you add it together, it's still gone up because it's gone up from 3294 to that and that to that. So that's paragraph 1 done. So you got like 15 minutes to do this, so 5 minutes per paragraph.
I mean, could you not also evaluate that nuclear energy, hydroelectricity, and other renewable sources have been increasing?
Nuclear hasn't increased, but hydro has. So you can talk about that if you want.
Hydro and other renewables have been, yeah.
The easy one is just, yeah, you can talk about that as well.
evaluation.
Yeah. Or you could talk about how overall energy consumption's gone up as well. So it's hard to tell if it's more focused on
Because
coal.
population growing.
Figure 2, I wouldn't do that at all.
No.
I'd pick figure 4 and figure 3. I'd say figure 4 is the best one. Figure 4 shows the overall decrease from that price to that price and evaluated by talking about how there have been some fluctuations along the way.
Yeah.
And if you only look at the data from 2011 onwards, there has guaranteed been a fall in price, which suggests that there's a fall in demand. This one, if you look at the same piece of data only from 2011 onwards, there has been a fall. The question doesn't specify where to start.
Oh, does it not?
No. It just says, has it been falling?
Data, okay.
Right, so you can pick 2015, which is reasonable, the last 5 years of data.
Yeah.
Why not, right? And then you can evaluate it by saying, if you look until 2011, there were a lot of fluctuations. And then conclude by saying, overall, the majority of the data suggests that demand
Consumption
for
has
fossil
been-
fuels
yeah.
has been falling, especially from 2011.
to
However, there were
2016.
some fluctuations beforehand.
So you can say especially from 2011 to 2016.